Hello and welcome to the Oracle RISE training. We are talking about the Oracle technical training here, which is the RISE components, the APIs, how Oracle architecture is actually based, some of the basic Oracle underlying architecture level stuff, which will help you as a technical developer or as a technical consultant in creating solutions for your clients. What RISE means is reports, interfaces, conversions, and extensions. A report is basically something which could already be existing in Oracle. So before even we go into the RISE, let me just talk about a little bit about why we need RISE in Oracle. Oracle as such is a pre-packaged ERP system, which means it has its own set of flows, set of screens, set of reports which work together to provide the business functionality. Now, it is built upon the best practices of the business systems of some of the best companies. Business processes have been implemented in Oracle ERP. Now, let's say your client wants to define their own business process and they want the system to work for that, which means that they want to tweak the packaged Oracle ERP system. That's where customizations come into picture. So by default, Oracle ERP comes in as seeded or vanilla. When you change it, it becomes a customization of or on top of the ERP system. There is something also called configuration, which is basically a setup change, not per se a customization. It is just a configuration. Customization is basically when you change a report interface, conversions, or additional extensions to the application, those kind of things, where you change the functionality to a lot, is called customization. Something which is not provided by the application and you want it to be your custom is called a customization. So let's go back to reports. Basically you add some functionality to the seeded reports, or you enhance the seeded existing seeded reports, or you create your own reports on top of the Oracle architecture. Normally we use tools like D2K developer 2006i 99 versions of this tool, Oracle reports builder. This is pretty much outdated because nowadays with the release 12 and fusion, most of the reports are XML based, BI publisher based, and they are transitioning to the business intelligence instead of the Oracle reports architecture. Again, the interfaces are kind of programs which tie two systems together. They send data out of one system which can be used in other system, or it could be just data coming out of one system which can be worked upon. It can go in as a flat file, as an XML file, at whatever format. So it's basically communication between two different systems or modules. The reason I say here modules is even in Oracle ERP there are multiple modules which talk to each other and they talk through interface tables. For example, the GL module, which is the central module of Oracle, integrates with all other modules AP, AR, through a table called GL interface, which is a interface table, and there's a program built on top of that table which actually reads the table and processes the data. So interface can be used to talk to to make two modules talk to each other, or to make two systems or more than one systems talk to each other. Again, for interfaces there are some pre-built APIs that are provided by Oracle which we have to use because Oracle does not recommend that we go and directly touch that base table. So to make any changes to the data, we need to go through the interface tables, uh, APIs basically. The conversion is another way of communicating between two systems, but here what we are doing is probably the first system from where we are converting is going to go away. So we are converting from the legacy systems, or let's say third party systems or our service providers. The data comes into flat files, or data has a like is stored in a database or somewhere, and we are converting that into Oracle EBusiness Suite. Again, for this also we use the pre-built APIs which are provided by Oracle. Now extensions. Now extensions could be new forms, it could be new pages, new flows, it could be changing the folders, it could be adding something on the menu, it could be customizing the form, it could be personalizing the form, all those kind of things which extend the application or extensions. Let's talk about what is basically part of eBusiness Suite. One is the ERP application, then we have the CRM applications, and then we have the business intelligence or analytical applications, which are more of a data warehousing solutions. Also, Oracle provides us the database and the tools. Coming towards the Oracle ERP application Business Suite, there is application tier, there is a database tier, and there is a presentation tier. So the presentation tier is your browser, which is mostly Java based or JSP based. Then the application server tier is your Apache server or the Oracle 99AS or 10 GAIAS. So those are the application servers. And the database, of course, is Oracle 9i, Oracle 10G, Oracle 11G. Those are the databases. So you have database, you have application server, and on top of that you have the presentation server. That's how the Oracle architecture is basically built, a three-tier internet architecture. Again, there are abbreviation for the file system naming convention. For example, APPL is basically all the application product files, and the folder structure is named as top, which means the Apple top, APPL underscore top. Apple top is the name of the folder which has all the application related data. Aura top is the name of the Oracle home for RDBMS, which could be 8, which could be 9, which could be 10. Common top is basically where you have all the log files, output files, HTML, Java, utilities, everything is a common top. And the data is actually where the database is stored. Now, as I mentioned, first you have the file system, Oracle home. You have under DB name, let's say our DB name is XG, so you'll have XG Aura. Under that, you'll have a database home, you will have a binaries, you will have the network files. Then you have a technology stack home, where you will have form server, you will have the report server, you will have the graphics servers, and then your web home, which is the Apache HTTP home. And then you will have the common top, which has the admin, HTML, Java, util, temp, all these kind of files. Under your application top, you will have one folder for each module. So under application top, you will have admin file, admin folder, and then you will have a folder for, let's say, GL, which will be GL top. For AP, which will be AP top. For custom, that will be XXI top. So those are the architecture level concepts that you should understand, because most of the interface program that you will be writing or the reports that you will be writing, they will be probably coming somewhere here. Let's say when you write a report, it will go into this reports folder, the forms stay in the forms folder, shell scripts stay in the bin folder, but they will all be under XXI top mostly, because that's where you store your custom programs. That's your custom top. Now, what are personalizations? Personalizations are another type of extension, but they are mostly configuration rather than customization, which help you to add or enhance to the web pages. It helps you edit the text, images, logos, placement of fields, etc. It also helps you to do any kind of front-end related work. Let's say you want to put a logo, or you want to put change the name of a field, or you want to adjust some fields up and down. Those kind of things can be done using personalization. It's mostly, like I said, it's a configuration, it's not a customization, and you must have some profile options set up correctly to be able to do the personalization. This is just a screenshot. As you can see here, when you go to Oracle and you click on the About tab, it will tell you something about Oracle, what is the version name, what is the database name, what is the application name, all those kind of things. And it will also tell you about the record, which is a table it is being used, it is using, who is the person updated, and all those kind of things. Now, one thing which we will be moving on to the HRMS related stuff, and for that I'm going to move on to the next presentation, which is about interfaces and conversions.